Prehistoric Hongshan materials: coral jade, Tridacna, and Ammolite shell. I would like to share with everyone some newly collected Hongshan prehistoric materials gathered by our members recently. These are part of the collection of our consultant Mr. Cao from the Hong Kong region. Previously, a friend of one of our members had similar material and brought it to me for identification. I told him, this is coral jade. Today, thanks to another member who came to inquire after seeing information online about coral jade. According to some online sources, coral jade is only considered coral jade if it displays a chrysanthemum-like floral pattern. Here, I would first like to clarify this point. First of all, natural jade found on land never forms in this kind of clustered dotted pattern. Even terrestrial agate has never shown such grouped point-like formations, let alone in the ocean. The ocean does not produce jade in the usual sense. If there is jade, it would more likely come from large Tridacna shells or from fossils of marine organisms after death. Tridacna is a deep-sea shellfish species that can live for tens of thousands of years. Even the specimens we can find today may not be over 1,000 years old, and they are usually located at the deepest limits reachable by humans. To find a Tridacna shell thick enough to carve into Hongshan ritual forms would require growth over countless tens of thousands of years. Ammolite shell comes from deep-sea organisms dating back to the Cambrian period. After death, these organisms formed fossils, and to become jade-like through mineralization would require at least over 400 million years. This Hongshan dragon embryo-shaped object made from Ammolite shell shows straight-lined drilling marks in its perforations. Besides displaying brilliant colors, this portion has already undergone jade-like mineralization. To be able to see such a Hongshan Ammolite shell dragonform object from the Cambrian era today is truly extremely rare. Now let us look again at this Hongshan hooked cloud object. Its material is clearly dotted, and these dots are clustered together. Here, I want to tell everyone, there are at least thousands of species of coral in the world. Coral is formed by colonies of coral polyps living together. Different species produce different colors and different structures, so it is absolutely incorrect to define coral jade solely by the chrysanthemum-shaped variety. On the contrary, what we can observe is that coral naturally has a group structure. When different corals die, they become coral stone, after special environmental conditions, geothermal activity from undersea volcanoes, and crustal movement, they fossilize over 140 million years. After sinking deeper into the seabed and being subjected to immense pressure, they require at least another 400 million years to become jade-like. Now let us enlarge these coral jade pieces and observe carefully. What can everyone discover? Yes, of course there are Hongshan tool marks, but what else? Let me show you another Hongshan coral jade sun god figure. Please enlarge and carefully examine the horn area on the head of this sun god. If this piece had been carved from an already fully mineralized coral jade that was over 400 million years old, then the horns should show broken coral polyp structures where the carving cut through them. But if you look closely, you will find that this coral jade piece remains complete. Looking back at this object, it seems quite strange, because we can see that the cut edges, side openings, rounded areas, and curved sections all preserve the original coral polyps without being broken by cutting. This means that these coral polyps had already been shaped and carved into ritual objects before full jade-like mineralization occurred. At that time, these coral organisms may not have been dead for very long and were likely still soft. After being cut and carved into ritual forms, they then underwent at least another 400 million years to become the beautiful coral jade Hongshan artifacts we see today. Especially this particular piece, which even has rounded belly coral polyp points, can serve as proof that our Hongshan ancestral sun god, these highly intelligent extraterrestrial beings, were already active on Earth at least 400 million years ago. People today absolutely do not understand analysis the way we do, nor how to use the irreplicable Hongshan tool marks to identify more diverse materials. Artifacts speak for themselves through different materials, fossils, and structures. These discoveries make us even more certain that our research path is correct and indeed ahead of all the so-called experts in the world. Therefore, if everyone ever has the opportunity to encounter Hongshan artifacts made of coral jade, Tridacna, or Ammolite shell, and if your means allow, you should certainly collect them for research,